Excellent connection. Great. Alright. I don't need money, so I'm just going to be... Oh, I need to show my gear. I'm just going to be running it and leaving them on the floor. Triangle for 45% faster run walk, -5 for net, +40. It's -5 because it's a medium armor. 30% faster run walk hat, 30% faster run walk amulet, 40% faster run walk boot, 40% faster run walk belt, 3% faster run walk small charms, spelling my initials JF. Wire fleece. Imagine if it was the first one and it just dropped immediately. And then it'd be like, alright, stream over. Thank you for watching. And I probably would have. But now that it's no longer the first one, I would probably start playing Blood Runner, maybe. Doing some questing until I got tired of it. Which might be one waypoint, or it might be like all of normal. Depends on how things went. I do check the blue ones for the chance of some nice of the whale armor. Which can get 4 sockets from Larzuk. It'd be pretty cool to get one on a non-purchasable base. I don't know if you can't buy wire fleece, but I know that armors don't all, very rarely upgrade in the shop window. I know you, I think from Larzuk, you can actually buy sacred armor, I think. But don't quote me on that. Wait, this girl has Larzuk. This girl, wow, has Larzuk. So I could go ask him if he sells that base. I think he sells Coronas. Yeah, he can sell Corona, he can sell Sacred Armor. There you go, Azure Sacred Armor, or Azure Sacred Armor, however you like. So you could shop him for 4-socketed armors, or potentially 4-socketed armors in elite bases, which could be interesting if that's what you're into. If you're going to do that, I recommend using a character that does not have enough strength to use the elite base, but does have enough strength to use the normal and exceptional bases, so that you only have to check if it's red. I mean, if the background is red, meaning you can't equip it. I guess if you're specifically looking for of the whale, then the armor would also be red, so it would be red armor on a red background. Imagine shopping for that for the sole purpose of showing someone else that you got it even though you don't want it yourself. Sounds exactly like the kind of stupid thing I would do. I don't know why I touch the map every time I jump through the waypoint. I guess it's an old habit. I don't remember from when. Like that. Look at that APM. 1, 2, 3, 4 bonus actions. So my APM is at least 4 more than my EAPM. Hello. Welcome to rack running. I want to be done with this rack, so I decided I would give it a good go today. That way I can try to get a Bramble Mitts rack and get Laying of Hands, or a couple copies of Laying of Hands, and upgrade my Barbarian armor and glove slots. And then I would also, I would say not upgrade, but change his main weapon slot to one with high lifesteal. And then keep crafting scourges for him with Ort runes. Pretty late start for the stream, but it's Wednesday no matter what. The guy that I like to talk about, or one of the guys I like to talk about that I watch on Twitch, or maybe that I used to watch when I was unemployed and had more free time. I started watching him when he did, I think this is when I started, but I guess I've had him on the follow list before he did this. But I started like really watching him when he did XCOM 10 hours a day for the entire month of July. Not this year, but however many years ago that was. And he did it, he's like, I'm gonna do just July, 10 hours every day at least. And if I make it as a streamer, then I make it as a streamer, and if I don't, then streaming is over and I'll go get a real job. Like I think he was going to go work at a warehouse. But he made enough in subscriptions and donations to scrape by. And so now he's a streamer as his primary income. I don't know why I was saying that. Oh yeah, because he would stream no matter what. And his sign-off message, which I really enjoy, is, let's see, what is it? I'll be back tomorrow, because I'm always back tomorrow. Something like that. This looks like an armor that you would find in Classic. And then immediately throw back on the floor. Except, you know, for it being elite tier, which does not exist. Ugh. Yeah, it's definitely not sustainable. Because, like, you know, it's not going to work out forever. And when you're done, when it stops working, then what? You have no money. That's kind of how I see it. No, I don't. This particular guy, I don't think he resents it. But I could see, you know, definitely I could see that happening. Like, to people in general. Like, ugh, I have to play for 8 hours today. This sucks. And I'm gonna make $100. Or whatever. however much. I have to play on Wednesday to keep the people interested so they show up on Sunday, which is the day most people watch. Ugh. That's probably a thing too. Yeah, I did, like I streamed on Twitch for a little while, mostly off and on, and like mostly off. Uh, and like I would get 0 to 2 viewers or something after playing 4 hours every day for like a month. And I was like, yeah, okay, never mind. But you know, here on YouTube, I get more people than I did on Twitch, and also I'm not really hoping for it to become an income like I was. It's like, oh, maybe I can make this work. Now I'm just like, well, I'm playing, I might as well stream it and record it, because there's no real good reason not to. People click on it. If I don't post it, there's a 0% chance that it could become an income stream. If I do post it, there is a greater than 0% chance. Alright, then I'll post it. Easy. It wouldn't bother me too much to only play Diablo 2 if that's what all my viewers were, but I think probably a lot of the people that click into streams from me would still click in even if it's not Diablo 2. Not, you know, not 100%, but probably at least 50%. They see that orange flag and they click. Such good branding. orangeflag.jpg from, what is it called? A buoy on Myrtle Beach. I think it was a buoy. From like 2006. Good stuff. I have an 18-year-old avatar. I don't think I've been using it the whole 18 years, but I have had it for 18 years. Like as a picture on my hard drive. Flawless Emerald.
I need a key.
Flawless Emerald Legacy.
It's
What?
locked.
Anyway. You can get low, Vex, maybe Gull? I can't remember if Gull is one. Maybe not. From the super chests here on Players 1. I think it's like low Vex, or something like that. And years ago when I was doing rack running, I would always make sure I had a rack near super chests. And then I would run the rack and the 3 super chests. And I only ever got 1 Vex that way. And no low runes. Actually, low rune would be really good. Like 50, oh, never mind. 20% deadly strike? What does this do? No deadly strike. Yeah, that would actually be really good. Imagine getting a low in 1.07 and then actually using it in 1.07. You would need a really good weapon for that. Otherwise, I guess it's half of a serve-room. Um, what else might you use it for? I don't really know what rune words use low. Grief, but the most interesting place to use that doesn't have it activated yet. The 1.10 betas. That was probably 1.09. They would run around with the inventory with like Bariza or Wind Force and then 40 poison charms. Then I'm not sure. I didn't really start playing until 09. Or I didn't start playing online until 09. And then I stopped at like, I probably stopped at 1.10 really. Not like immediately, but like before 1.11. And then before that, I played like a idiot middle schooler in single player. And after that, I slowly learned how things actually worked and played single player. Yeah, 1.10 was pretty long. That's true. Whoops. It took him it was in development for a long time too. I remember that because they had like teasers for it and stuff, or at least news articles with updates. Like, we promise we're still working on 1.10 with our team of 2 developers. In the meantime, please pay us $15 a month to play World of Warcraft. Oh, well, I remember knowing that it was coming. So, it's possible that I remember wrong. Oh, I didn't even know about the Blizzard forums, so I would have heard about it somewhere else. Maybe on PC Gamer magazine, or from a friend at school, or from... I probably didn't really read news online at the time. I didn't look at Dig or Reddit, or I don't even think Reddit existed. Something Awful, or where else might one get news? Yeah, school. There were a couple kids at school who played. No, I mean, when I was in school, I might have heard about 1.10 from one of them. I am a similar age as my viewers. Yeah, 1.10 would have come out when I was in probably high school. I think. I'd have to look up what year it actually came out to be sure. No, I was too poor to get scammed. There was one guy who tried when I had like, I think I had Shaco or something. And he was like, hey, I need to gain your trust. If you drop your Shaco right here, and then I'll stand over here, and then we'll know we can trust each other. And I was like, man, this doesn't seem like a good idea. And I did not do it. I did know a guy who would scam people. Um, what was it that he would trade? Was it Milibriga's armor looked like unidentified Immortal King's armor or something like that? I think so. And he would trade unidentified Milibriga's armors as IK armor. But he didn't really play much. "2003. Yeah, I would have been in high school. "2005, I still would have been in high school. 2005, 2006 was my senior year. That was a good year. I had a lot of fun at school. Mhm. Alright, we'll see if that sneeze comes back. 03, that means you were old enough to party for Y2K. I was old enough to be allowed to stay up until midnight for Y2K. Stayed up to see if the power went out, and it did not. I remember we were watching the news, and it was like special news about Y2K. Like, I don't know if it was all night long or if it was just like a countdown. And they were reporting on some places around the world that were having problems, but it was only like very localized and small. Like this one town on this island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean lost power for 10 minutes. This city in Southeast Asia, or wherever, I don't remember, had a few technical difficulties with their traffic lights, or whatever, you know. No game-breaking glitches IRL. Ah, yeah, for a second I thought this said I was praying. I was like, dang. Like, are you praying for the world to end or praying for it not to end? But he was partying for the world to end. Were you watching for aliens? I know there were some people who were like watching for aliens on Y2K. At their end of the world parties. I do remember that we unplugged our computer just in case. But also, that my dad and my oldest brother had downloaded, whatever file or driver or antivirus or whatever was needed to ensure your computer was resistant to the potential Y2K bug. Back when you watched download bars to make sure they finished. Downloading 6 megabytes. Expected download time 14 hours, 12 minutes, and 39 seconds. I remember, oh, this was crazy. The first time they defragmented the computer, and it took longer than 24 hours. It's amazing. Yeah, 28.8. That's what we had. Net zero is what we had. There's a button in my control panel for defragment, so sometimes I click it and it's like 2 seconds. Like, okay, I don't know if that did anything, but I'll keep clicking it. Yeah. Why is my computer slow? You haven't closed a program in 3 years. They're all still just open. Well, I thought minimize to tray made the program go away. Unfortunately for me, my parents are good enough with the computer that they don't need intervention. And if they need help with something, my dad is patient enough to watch a tutorial video start to finish on YouTube, even if it's the wrong one. And he'll be like halfway through and realize it's the wrong one and finish it anyway and then go to the next one. But he does eventually figure it out. Whoops, wrong waypoint. why did you finish the video if it was the wrong one? Oh, it was interesting. Okay. Ugh. I wonder if my rack will still drop a wire fleece now. That was a pretty long delay. I have one spot of poison ivy on my arm. I think I have about a week left on it. But fortunately it's just one spot, so it's not like the, 2 months ago or whenever, when I was complaining about it like every single day. It was on like all up and down both arms. It's just one spot. I scratch around it. Like I'll scratch near it. But I don't scratch it directly. I might rub it, like with the palm of my hand. Went away again. Yeah, some people are immune. And that can change like different phases of your life. Like I had a great grandma who was immune to poison ivy until she was like 65, and then she started catching it. Because she would just go like pick it out of the flower bed with her bare hands, no problems. And then one day, giant rash. Oh, alright, I guess I'm allergic now. And my dad is super allergic. He gets giant blisters. Looks like he's dying. I just get like red welts. I think the way that I get it is when I'm weed eating. The way that I hold the weed eater, it throws clippings at me, and so if I'm weed eating poison ivy to get rid of it, then I'm just like flinging poison ivy bits all over myself. So if I know it's poison ivy, then I hold the weed eater a different way. fling it away from myself. But if I don't notice, then I'm gonna fling bits of poison ivy all over myself. And 2 days a week out of 5, I wear long sleeves. But I only have 2 of the long sleeve shirt made of the material that's like designed for outdoor manual labor. So the other 3 days I don't wear long sleeves. Or sometimes 4 days. That'll be next week. I have probably, but I wear a mask that covers my mouth. It could go in my nose. I don't cover my nose. I should cover my nose, but it's really uncomfortable to like breathe into your own face, so I don't. Not because of toxic chemicals, like that's not why I should cover my nose. I'm not super concerned about like sand, dust, but just for my nose gets a lot of sun exposure. Oh, I don't worry about illnesses. Like I've heard, monkeypox on the news or whatever, but I don't know anything about it, what it is, when it is. And I work outside, so it's like, even when in close contact with someone, you're still several feet away in the outdoors. I use news as a general term for like any way that I receive information about the world, basically, and current events, not necessarily like the TV. I don't even have a TV, so. Dang, you're not even a flat earther, you're a no earther. It's impressive. You think the world is flat? That's just a conspiracy, man. The world isn't even real. The world is flat as a government mind control conspiracy to make you think you know, when really you're still in their clutches. Their lizard person clutches. That's right. Hmm. The world ended in 1999 and we're all just playing a VR simulation while we travel in generation ships to Alpha Centauri. No, that just means it's working. We use, less bandwidth that way. Sitting in one spot, not loading new zones. Imagine it's those people who go outside that they don't like. Having to render the world all the time. That's why they programmed in your eyes getting worse over time so that they can reduce draw distance and uh, I guess uh, what's it called? HD. What is that called? Resolution.
Good day.
Yeah, well, if they did it to everyone, we might catch on. So they got to have some exceptions to make it feel more real. Someone's gonna click in like 10 minutes ago and think that I genuinely believe we're on generation ships to Alpha Centauri. Nah. Not even flat Earth, man. The world is an oblate spheroid, and birds are real.
Yes.
Yes. When you changed your name to Scott, it made me think of Scott S.D. Kessler, the speedrunner, OG speedrunner from like 2000 or 2003 or something like that. He did a lot of Mario games, and then he did a lot of it's like random NES games. And I think he did what's it called? Shmups? Like bullet hell games. Dang. I told him I think the world is real, and he left. Go to jail? I don't know. I don't follow that. And I don't really. The only place that I got information about him was Carl Jobst, maybe. Hello, you absolute legends, that guy. And I don't. He doesn't show up on my YouTube recommended anymore, and so I don't see any news about the King of Kong. Yeah, I don't know if like the algorithm just kind of cycled him out, or if they manually removed him because of drama. Or if the drama made the algorithm think that he's no longer good, and that cycled him out. Yeah, when I saw the video that was about the Super Mario category that I ran, Super Mario World, uh, and like it was recommended, no, someone mentioned it to me. So then I looked for it. Um, I just figured, oh, it's probably, Carl. But then it wasn't. Still watched it. It was about me. Of course I'm gonna watch it.
Yes.
Yes. and then I liked the video, and then I joined their Discord server, and then I muted the whole server after popping in and be like, hey, I liked that video you made about me. And then I started nagging some Super Mario World speedrunners about one of the very minor tricks or techniques that I did, and they were not using, which saves like, I don't know, like 1/10 of a second or something in one level, and nagged them for a while until they eventually started doing it. And so now there are several Super Mario World speedrunners that use the key in Star World 2 Secret to stop their momentum while swimming, and then grab the key and immediately turn around with close to maximum swimming speed. Good stuff. Some high quality SMW. Yes, I did. And now it's called the Truman Special. Because the speedrunner that I was nagging the most about it is Truman. So I named it after him and started posting that in several other chats, and several other people started calling it that as well. So now there's a trick that's like almost as old as he is. Well, not really, but like he would have been in elementary school when, yeah, the name is very recent. It's just that there were a few people who did it, but most did not. And if you watched the video that I posted on my YouTube channel of me playing the game 19 years ago, 18 years ago, then you might have just seen it there. Or if you watched any tool-assisted speedruns, then they would have certainly used it in that level. I think... Actually, I don't know. I think they said Usui doesn't use it. He's like the world record holder in several categories. Yeah, it's not that no one did it, it just wasn't widely used because nobody wants to practice a water level and the time save is not large. The amount of time lost if you mess up is more than the amount of time saved if you do it correctly. Oh man, I should make a tutorial video titled The Truman Special. Oh no. Now I really need to buy a TV. And a retro tank. How long is it into the run? Depends on the category. I would say in 96 exit, it's maybe like 25 or 30 minutes in. an 11 exit, it's probably like 7 minutes in. Something like that. I don't really know. I don't know the timings on the levels like that. Let's see, I can pull it up. Let's see. We'll go here. We'll do that. We'll go here. We'll do that. Where are we? Okay. Close this. Hopefully I actually did it. Otherwise this will be very anticlimactic. There it is. Hopefully that was like visible on screen. The Truman Special! Hands up, easy clap. Gotchi hyper. Of course, in most categories, you have a cape when you're there. And so avoiding a bonk against the wall is more difficult, and often done by tapping left and then right. So you can have a bonkless Truman Special. But even though it's a very old technique, it is considered advanced. You're welcome. It's a good song. Probably more than most people. Well, not even probably, certainly more than most people. Imagine if half the world had that song in their head more than me. That would be wild. No, it's just that that song is used as like the screensaver noise. So like the people that you don't see who are actually just like sitting in their house staring at the wall, that's what they hear. Anyone who's idling but not sleeping. Being hypnotized by that song. Like if, what, was it season 5 or season 4 of Westworld? Where they had like that sound that hypnotized people, turned them into automatons. That sound was actually the Super Mario World water level music.
Good to see you.
Understandable. I think most people reasonably stopped long before the show did. But I'm relatively easy to entertain, so it has to be extremely bad for me to stop before it's over. Like I watched all 3 seasons of C, even though it is recommended to stop after season 1. I read all of the Wheel of Time 3 times. I touch a rack for now an hour and 20 minutes in a row. The Walking Dead, I never watched that. I was just like, oh, zombies, I'm out. Which, it's kind of weird that I watched The Last of Us. But technically, they're not zombies, they're mushrooms.
Good day.
Did The Last of Us Season 2 ever come out? If it did, I totally missed it. Let's see, what other shows did I watch too many seasons of? Dexter actually got bad enough that I stopped watching it. I watched 4 seasons of Dexter and then I stopped like
Greetings.
2 episodes before the season finale or something. I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm done. What other shows did I watch too much of? I don't know. I was disappointed by season 2 of Altered Carbon. So I've watched season 1 twice, but I only watched season 2 once. Like when I went and rewatched season 1, I did not rewatch season 2. Maybe instead of that Super Mario World song, you can get stuck in your head. Just like the intro,
Greetings.
I guess that's stringed instruments, maybe? Crescendo. Control M. I don't know what that does. Press it in menu. Oh, does it stop the music? I see. Could be worse. If I were streaming on Twitch instead of YouTube, where they have like channel point redemptions and stuff, I would probably have a sound chaos debug on off redemption. For my 0 viewers, because that's what I would get on Twitch. The orange flag just doesn't hit the same there. It's like I used to, one of the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 streamers that I would watch had unlimited free TTS redemptions. That was a lot of fun. Very enjoyable for me. But he doesn't play anymore or stream. I just had a really dumb thought. I could, when I finish this stream, and then I want a video to make for tonight, I could just start recording and do a rack running video immediately following a rack running stream. Amazing. It's what sets me apart from all the other Diablo 2 YouTubers. My dedication to the lowest quality time travel content possible. Since there's so few other time travel producers, you have to put up with me. Yeah, and then well, no, I wouldn't do a rack rerolling video. I would probably want to use a sorceress for that, just like for the sake of demonstrating. Well, or I might use a barbarian. Yeah, because the barbarian, if you are picky about your map, you can get a rack right here, which is not really any slower, or not meaningfully slower, than using a sorceress for teleport. And I am that picky about my maps, generally speaking. So I'd either use a barbarian or a paladin. Probably. For a how-to video. Besides, even if I find GBane, I could still find another one.
Hello.
I won't. I'll be like, alright, that's done, and immediately re-roll my map. But I could. And I would be very happy to find it right now. No. Hell Mephisto can't drop it. His treasure class is too limited. He only drops from his normal difficulty treasure class. All act bosses drop from their normal difficulty treasure class, except Duriel can be tricked into dropping from his hell treasure class by going into his room, leaving via town portal, and coming back. I'm unsure if normal mobs are able to drop wire fleece. If they are, then I could have gotten one by doing infinite magic find and running a full clear of hell. I think it's only like 5, maybe. 5 rituals to force trash mobs to drop uniques. I'm not sure on that number, but it's about 5. If this were 1.08, then he could drop it. And it would have the same stats as in 1.07. But my barb is not a 1.08 barb, at least not yet. So I need it here. Didn't know who's bugged. Lots of things are bugged in 1.07. All of the things are bugged in 1.07. Big part of why I play here. Yeah. Yeah, they drop from their normal difficulty treasure class. The unique named council members also drop from their normal difficulty treasure class, which means they can only drop up to Thul rune. So any rune higher than Thul must come from the minion council members when running the council. I don't know if it's all super uniques are bugged or if it's just like act bosses and council members. So I know that it's at least act bosses and super unique council members. Also, just overall in general, there are certain treasure classes that are very heavily favored. It's the one, like maybe TC33 maybe? Whichever one has Gothic plate. Yeah. Yeah, I could. I think you could probably also do like 10 Bishibash runs and see. Or maybe like 50 if you really want to be sure. What's going to be really fun is when I touch the rack and it drops the unique and then I save and exit without picking it up. I believe I have done that one time ever. Dang. Look at this guy's feelings. Wow. That doesn't make any sense at all. Look at this guy's feelings. Wow. Ten runs of anything in my life. Maybe something that requires full clears. I have done less than 10 Hellforge quest rushes because I have done that 0 times. I very much dislike the process of rushing. Yeah, but I can still, let's see, will this work? What? No way. So I can rush myself. Modified D2GFX.dll to allow multiple instances. Oh. Yeah. No, it's because Hellforge rushing is the best way to get crafting runes for the greater crafting recipes in 1.07. In particular, is it Ko? I have it written down over here. Ko rune for blood rings. It's also the most efficient way to get runes for beta rune words, in particular beta call to arms. So you rush a group of guys in 1.07 or any earlier version. You collect their Nightmare Forge in 1.07, trying to get Ko runes, and then you forward them to 1.10s and collect their Hell Forge. I think it can drop up to Gull, maybe. For the purpose of making beta call to arms. I wonder how many runes does it take to make call to arms. Probably a lot. I cubed up 86 runes and this happened. You won't believe what happened in rune 34 and rune 35. $30, that's not too bad. Especially if you throw in the Ist and Vex rune that I already have. Hmm. $32 for 1 ohm. Let's see, on Rao Mal Ist. Then you need Mal Ist. And I have Vex. And Vex is half an ohm rune, is that right? I think Vex is half an ohm rune. I don't even know. And I have an Ist. Let's see. So then I need 16 runes. Or 18. And I have like 10. I might make a beta CTA after all. Or another one. I have made one in the past. And being the simulation theory enjoyer that I am, I got the plus 15 perfect roll. Well, perfect 15 battle orders, not perfect CTA. But I don't care about the battle command and battle cry or whatever the other two are. Oh, no, no, no. I don't rush for Forge. If I rush, it would be for classic rings. So I would be like, yo, Ormus, give me the ring
Yes.
in normal Nightmare in Hell. And he would be like, alright. Here's a piece of garbage. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Ormus. You are too kind. Oh yeah, and then also the other thing that I would rush for, I mean, I would collect their forges and do a craft with co-runes, but the thing that I would actually be after is the rare rings in Classic and the socket quest in 1.07. It's like, well, since I have, 200 rushies because I actually bothered to do it, I might as well go collect all their forges in 1.10s. And then also, what else is it that they do? Oh man, there was something else that you do with rushies. I don't remember. Oh yeah, you rush a bunch of Amazons to get a Grand Matron bow from Anya. And then once you have a Grand Matron bow in 1.07, you switch to whatever other class that you want the rare item from Anya.
Greetings.
Anya knees got him. I'm glad you liked that. I felt mildly clever. I was watching, I guess, a clip of Artosis with Scan, and Artosis was like, "Yeah, did you hear about the new map?" He learned this from his chat, right? It's like, "Did you hear about the new map?" "No, I didn't. What's the new map?" Uh, Garglon, DE, right? Garglon, no, I haven't heard of Garglon. And then Artosis was like, Garglon D's nuts, and then, just started laughing like a maniac. And Scan, who does not, English is at least his second language. He speaks Korean, right? He's just like looking at him like, well, I don't know what you just said, but I guess you got me good. And the new season of ASL is just starting, so I'm going to be enjoying that. I'm probably going to get very far behind, uh, since I don't have, well, I'll say because I spend a lot of my free time sleeping, because it's actually sleep time. And I will, at least in the evenings, prioritize making a video over watching ASL, now SSL, Season 1. Actually, I don't know if they're going to call it Season 1 or if they're going to call it Season 19. And I don't know if I'll watch the whole thing or if I'll only watch until Shine is eliminated or becomes Grand Champion. I did go back and watch, last year or 2 years ago, I went back and watched, I think it was Season 7. Um, but it might have been season 3 where Shine made it to the grand finals and versus Flash. And I didn't watch the whole season, I just watched all the videos that Shine was in because I like watching off-meta builds. And the further off, the better. So this is a great example of low odds in Diablo 2. Yeah, probably I was planning to end in about 5 minutes anyway, because that puts me at approximately 2 hours. Oh, not quite, but it puts me at 10 o'clock. So, yeah, this is a good example of Diablo 2 low odds, where you can play, you know, literally I'm just running and touching a rack for close to 2 hours, I'll say. It was an hour and 40 minutes. I did like a 20-minute video the other day, and then I've been running it off and on while collecting money for gambling, and still no unique. And so the people who expect, you know, hey, I've been playing forever and I still haven't found this item. Well, for many people, this is forever. And yeah, you still haven't found it. Yep, 1 in 1,000. That's correct. In this version. In version 1.08, it's 1 in 800. And I think set is it 1 in 100? I think set is 1 in 100, and I have 66 of Naj's circlet from my circlet rack that I was running. And still no interesting 320 or 220 circlets. And really no really interesting circlets at all. Ah. I have never used, let's see, I've used Saigon's full set. I've probably used Hasaru's. And maybe Arctic. And I think those are the only full sets I've ever worn. Maybe like Berserkers because it has a weapon, and then let's see, no, I probably wouldn't have used Eisenhearts, I would have only used the sword. Arathas. Yeah, I have no idea what that does. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, sets are fine, especially if you're on like low economy builds. I've just never really used them. Probably because by the time
Good
I've
day.
farmed a complete set, I already have uniques that are generally better. Um, or rune words. It's hard to let go of spirit, for example. And it's so cheap. Alright, well, it's close to ending time. I'll do 5 more. This being the first of 5. 1. And then I'll do the Truman special again and get Super Mario World water level music stuck in all of your heads before we leave. 2. Three. Oh, you're leaving in advance. 4. Oh, wait, not yet. I haven't touched it yet. 4. And then there actually is a pretty decent chance that I'm just gonna stop stream and then keep going and call it a video for tonight. 5. So here you're going to see Mario use the key, which is a solid object, to stop his forward momentum as he releases Yoshi and rubs into the key. And then as his hitbox goes slightly into the key, he's able to immediately pick it up and turn around on the same frame and start gaining leftward momentum without having to do a slow turnaround process. Peak gaming. Yeah, that's the speed run. I have it on my channel. It's the speed run that I did in 2005, maybe, of Super Mario World as Small Mario only. So I know a thing or two about Super Mario World, and that technique that I just showed was discovered probably by multiple people, but also by me. So if I ever get a TV or a retro tank or both, then I'll probably do tutorial videos on some of the things that I discovered myself, and that would be one of them. Yeah, it's easy to find because it has Super Mario World, Star World 4 as the thumbnail.